Hi, I'm Tom Thames, for those of you who don't know me. Today, I'm literally standing in for Father John, who's still recovering from his recent surgery, and I'm going to share a brief introduction to Byzantine Chant. Byzantine Chant is a composite, drawing from Jewish music and inspired by the early Christian churches of Alexandria, Antioch, and Ephesus. Chanting is meant to represent the angelic choirs of the seraphim, as depicted in the Old Testament in Isaiah chapter 6 and Ezekiel chapter 3. By the 4th century, music was an indispensable element of Orthodox worship. It underscored the concept of community. Liturgical music is not meant to be personal or private. It's meant to be an act and work of all the faithful. The role of the chanters is not to extemporize or improvise or perform, but to instead lead and cue the responses of the congregation. The importance of preserving and capturing the sacred melodies led to the development of Byzantine musical notation in the 9th century. The Byzantine chant scale is comprised of a mere 7 notes. All Byzantine hymns are comprised or constructed around one of the 8 modes or tones. Each tone is characterized by a specific melodic fragment that's unique to it. You'll generally hear or see the tones referred to as tones 1 through 4, plagal 1st, plagal 2nd. Grave tone is opposed to plagal 3rd because of its heaviness, and plagal 4th. Prosomia are model melodies, which the words are then metered, meaning written to fit into the music. The prosomia may sound very different for each given tone. For example, in tone 1, with the prosomia of the stone that had been sealed. The stone had been secured with the seal by the Judeans, versus tone 1 with the prosomia of the soldiers keeping watch. The soldiers keeping watch at your tomb, O my Savior. Or for example, tone 3 with the prosomia of all by the beauty. All by the beauty of your divinity, versus the 3rd prosomia of on this day. On this day the Virgin Maid goes to the grotto to give birth. There are over 50 different prosomia across the 8 different tones. Trust me, it's still very much a work in progress for me to learn them. Having covered the basics and backgrounds of Byzantine chant, let's spend a few minutes on what you'll hear on Sunday morning. During the Divine Liturgy, around the small entrance, we sing a series of apologitions. An apologition is a special hymn commemorating either the resurrection, a great feast, or the saint of the day. For us, during every liturgy, we chant the apologition of St. Nicholas, as he's the patron saint of our church. We conclude those series of hymns around the small entrance with the Cantacion. Cantacions were developed as a long musical sermon. They typically paraphrased a biblical story and were 20 to 30 stanzas long. Over the years, thankfully, the Cantacions have been shortened to a single stanza. For us, common Cantacions that we use are Protection of Christians and On This Day. As an aside, the Cantacion On This Day, the Nativian Cantacion, was written by the saint depicted in this icon, St. Romanos. St. Romanos, one of the reasons he's known as the melodist and the patron saint of chanters, is during his lifetime, he wrote over 1,000 Cantacions. If you come on Sunday morning and attend Orthros, you'll hear the Katavasia. The Katavasia is a composite of 8 odes, each with its own unique melody, but tied together by being in the same tone and on the same general theme. Katavasia means descent in Greek. And that term is used because during this time, the chanters would leave the Solea, go down into the middle of the church and congregate, and chant this Katavasia there. The most common Katavasia that we chant is that to the Theotokos, but there are specific Katavasias for every great feast, such as for Theophany, Pascha, or Pentecost. One other set of specific hymns you'll hear during Orthros is that of the Stihira. This is near the end of Orthros, and these hymns also either commemorate the resurrection or the saint of the day. These hymns still utilize one of the 8 tones. However, the melody tends to be more complex and more varied. I hope that this introduction to Byzantine chant has been helpful for you. If you're interested in learning more, or simply to prepare for the week services, I can recommend several excellent resources. The first of these is agesinitiatives.com. Here you'll find both the Greek and English translations done by Father Seraphim Dides. The English translations are metered to fit the prosomia melody. You can find a Western score, and about half the time you can actually listen to the hymn chanted in English with the same translation that we'll use. The second resource is that of goarch.org. Here you can find the major hymns chanted in Greek. We, the chanters, along with Father John, welcome your participation with us. We look forward to seeing you in church, and just as importantly, hearing your voices raised with ours, making a joyful noise unto the Lord. Thank you.